the full, we gave people a tiny tease last week,
There we
the
go.
full Highlander hero trailer.
Nice. As I said, I have played with these before, so it's not as crazy for me because I've played with them, but maybe I'll see some like new things. Laugh if that was it. Why does it keep doing it? Stop
Like the
doing
rocks
this.
that break the waves, Highlanders have weathered many storms. Ancient alliances kept their land safe, but their woes have come due.
Highlander's definitely very intimidating, I can say that.
Obligation,
Very intimidating
but they are not to
hero.
be underestimated.
Like, you have to do something, person. You can't just stand there.
It can cut down even the most armored warrior. The elements battering their lands have made them strong. War has made them deadly.
It feels like his gameplay is going to be a lot more skilled as well than the Gladiator. Like, the Gladiator has loads of little tools and things, but it just seems like more obvious what to do with him than it does with the Highlander.
My new favorite character. This is why I'm wearing the kilt and why you get to look at my legs for the whole stream. I'm so psyched about the Highlander. I'm a fan of the idea of Highlanders in general, the history, but also a fan of our kind of popular history with the movie Highlanders, one of my favorites. Obviously, Braveheart was a big influence on a lot of us in the 90s. So tell me a little bit about the Highlander.
Maybe we can start about the process when we were thinking about bringing the new heroes into the game, and it's a process that started.
No, I didn't, Rising. I'm going to talk to them when I'm there. Like, I keep trying to talk to that Pope guy, and he's always busy.
In the summer, Andrew, something
Like
that.
always.
We started talking about having those discussions about the new characters, and for the Viking faction, we wanted to bring something that is a bit new, new flavor, new weapon, something that was a bit different, because the new maps, the new characters, it's also a place to test new things. And long time ago, almost 4 years ago, we had those great sketches from Guillaume about the Highlander. We were already thinking about this type of warrior because it's so iconic, and the claimer. Like we always start talking about weapons that could be really cool, and this one was on our list, and we thought, why not bringing these guys? So iconic warriors.
The new leaked gear for Highlander is neat.
Alliance with the Viking
I could do a
faction,
video showing you all the
Yeah,
epics.
let's do it, because it's
I might do
a
that.
great character, iconic.
Not now, obviously.
When you
when
say
the
that to
NDA is
somebody
released.
in the collective unconscious, they have images. It's something that really resonates. So that's how we brought the Highlander into the game.
I like the mention that you said of the alliance. That this is not this isn't a Viking.
No.
Right? Highlanders are Scottish people, but in our game, there's this idea that they're allied with the Vikings, even though if they're not. And you heard it in the trailer too. It's like an uneasy alliance sort of thing.
It felt natural for us to bring the the Highlanders with the Viking. You know about the culture. There's a Celtic. Yeah, it's a raw character. There's the fierce warriors. So we were like, it's natural, and
lab with
I think
Highlander.
it fits very well.
Right.
So today
It's going to be
we're
weird
gonna
because once
just
this
show the,
releases, I'm actually going for like
new
a holiday.
stuff
Yes.
in a different way compared to last time.
Last time we had PowerPoints with concept art.
Yeah.
But this time, this was actually Christian's idea.
I think we decided to go with in-game stuff.
Yep.
So you're gonna see
Doug, thank you for
what
the
you're gonna
bits.
get in the game. So maybe we can start.
Yeah, let's go to the game, Max. Okay, we're in.
So this is our first model, the one that you've seen in the trailer right now. So we have those nice kilts, very raw character. We kept the fur.
Right now,
Earthy.
Yeah, and for now it looks a bit gray, but that's normal because later on with the paint patterns, the team colors, this guy's gonna get way more colorful. I just added the color on the face paint. So that was our starting point. This one was the first guy we designed was
Two new
Guillaume
classes
who,
coming, yeah.
worked on the Highlander. So that was our really starting point, and then we started creating the other sets. So that's set another guy. This is my favorite,
Yes.
honestly.
I used to
love
have
it.
facial hair similar to this, by the way. I did.
God.
That's nice.
I like in the bandana, so it's a very different variant of the
Yes.
previous one. And the gloves, oh, that's cool.
So as you can see, we're also revealing the faces.
Yes, that's
For
a
the
big
first
that's a
time.
big change.
What?
So
It's-
by
change
faces
in the
being different,
face.
the facial hair being different, you really get a different look
Right,
at
okay.
the
He said revealing the
You know
face.
what? We
Raider.
during the production, we learned a lot.
Does Raider's face not
especially that
change
at
at
the
all?
beginning, we wanted to reveal
remember.
faces, but we were not sure we could produce the assets right on time. We wanted to get everything done and not push the release date. And we had to make a choice. So with all the people, we decided that most of our characters would be would wear a mask, a faceplate, helmet. And with the DLCs, we learned a lot about our process, about the time we spend on each asset. And today we can produce those type of things, and the faces are, it's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that you can, that is easy to get right.
Man, I haven't even seen this one.
That's our set 4.
Oh man.
A bit more classy,
Yes.
nice beret.
He's got kind of the pointy mustache, the handlebar mustache a little bit.
So that's gonna be a very nice place for paint patterns, for customization. Of course, those
Weird how
nice
we ain't showing the sword.
shoulder armor gonna receive paint patterns as well. So yeah, maybe you can talk about the process, about the faces.
So
because
faces, when we design the faces, once we choose what kind of character it is. For this case, it's a Highlander, and we collect the famous faces from the movies, actors, or athletic, UFC fighters, anybody that would fit the character.
Got a bit
And
of a
then
Raider look
we
that, with the thing going
use-
down.
They each face has their specific interesting features. So we collect all the features and then combine it and then blend it together. And then we add our we stylize that faces once we combine it, and then that becomes our For Honor character, For Honor faces of the Highlander.
And there's something that was part of the, right from the beginning of when we started working on those characters, is that we're not reproducing humans with armor. From the beginning, we were creating and designing figurines, you know? So there's something interesting with the sculpture approach, is that these guys are, you know, working on small scale sculptures, so they need to synthesize a lot of details. So they're gonna make choices, getting the most important or interesting assets, and they're gonna crank them up. And so you're gonna go straight to the point. You're gonna try to keep what's important, what's interesting on a character. So you just keep the essence of it. So we try to have the same approach. That's why you see that some of the assets are a bit pushed, which makes something that a character that is more alive. You feel more the who
Are we
is
good in
this
death?
guy, you know? I don't want to mess with
Like
this.
sidekick.
You know, it's,
Definitely not.
Looks like this one. Yeah.
Yes.
that's a nice beard. You need one like that.
Full beard, yeah. Love it.
So every time we're inspired by the real Highlanders, the real cultures, but then we just take the
There's
assets
like very
that are
subtle changes,
important,
isn't there?
that feels real, and then we start playing with it. One thing we need to mention is that we reach our goal when the guys are looking at our concept, and if they realize, if they recognize the faction, the culture, this
By
is
looking
that.
at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's that's important.
Cool.
So we have only 6 characters here like this, but you have a lot more different variations.
Of course.
You're gonna have like ornaments also to go on these guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's somewhere over here.
Here they are. Oh, wow. Wow, that's intense.
Yeah. So something we're trying to do also
like a double rainbow.
on the ornaments, it's adding more team color. bringing the possibility for the player to add those colors.
Right.
So we're doing it more and more when possible.
Also the alternative materials too.
Alternative materials, yes.
Yep.
That looks quite
Especially
nice.
we did a big pass on all the characters, and mainly the knights, where we've been adding more team colors, more material change on some pieces. So
Which was a big community request too, so I think people will be happy
yes,
with that.
and we're listening to what people think about it. and
Warden in
what
the background,
things
you
we
see
could,
it.
improve, and we have a lot to improve. But the Highlander wouldn't be a Highlander.
There we go,
without the
swords.
flamer.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. Wait, go up to the handle. Oh man. This is my first time seeing these things, so I'm enjoying the skeleton handle. And oh man.
That's quite cool. It looks like some fucking Oblivion thing.
Yeah, so we have different themes. They're not in specific order right now. So we try to always have a gradation, you know, from more basic at the beginning, and then we go to more ornamented.
Damn.
Interesting
I just
with
want to
the,
clarify. Someone was asking if this was a spectator mode in the game.
The K, the Kai
is what
fish,
we
K
call a
fish, Kai
marketing
fish. I forgot what it's
camera,
called
Right,
now.
exactly. And this is a map.
Looks
that
like it's
we
one of
use
them,
just to
which
check all the
seems a bit
assets,
weird.
with
for
different lightings, just
Scottish.
to see if everything is working well.
I think Celtic stuff,
What
like
I love is
Celtic
that you can really get close to the and see the amazing
man.
details.
lizards.
It's awesome.
Nice Damas blade on this one.
So much detail.
Yeah,
Wow. So
man, they've had a lot of fun with that, haven't
the
they?
hilt is, it's like the head of a ship.
Almost, yeah.
That looks really cool.
So we're spending a lot
Wow.
of
Oh my
time
God, they
on
spent
the,
so much time on
the
this shit.
materials,
Fucking
how
hell.
real they can look. The team is doing an amazing job, and we, as usual, our I would say philosophy is produce less but produce better. You know.
Right.
So we spend the necessary time on some assets, and these ones, you know, it's we want a fetish. A fetish feeling for the players when they're looking at those weapons, and they're getting
More
better
basic.
and better each
Right.
time.
Which is what's happening to me as I'm seeing it. As people are pointing out in the chat. I'm being a little excited.
And we have like there's a lot of weapons available. We're trying to do a little bit different designs so everybody can find his style. the
I
things
see
they
that.
like, from the simpler one to the more complicated ones, the busier ones.
And
a
what
bit
you were
bulky,
saying
that
was this
one,
is sort
but
of
I
a
like it.
collection across all the different rarities and all that.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So many.
This one is done in Chengdu.
There's so many. What the fuck? There's a snake
The
one.
weapons
Dude,
are-
there's
are
fucking
done,
loads.
with our partner.
They go crazy with cosmetics for Honor, man.
Amazing work.
Yeah.
They do put a lot of other companies to shame with cosmetics, at least.
So we have a lot.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you this one. I really love it. This is mine. I mean, it's one that I like. It's simpler. It's simple, and everybody. We hope that everybody's gonna find his claimer, his
Yeah,
style.
that's great. I mean, there's enough variety that definitely you can find what floats your boat.
Yeah. And for the people that are new to the game, you can customize the weapons. They're separated in 3 parts.
Oh wow, that's
And
got
you can
like
just mix match whatever you want.
gaps
over there.
inside.
So if you like that hilt, you can put it with the blade for the one next to it.
Don't like that
Exactly.
hill.
And later on, today we're exploring the possibilities to extend, you know, the customization on characters and weapons. So things are in the works, you know, and we'll see if we can bring more possibilities to the player.
These are the ones you start
Now
with.
that we know better
These
our
ones, I'm pretty
possibilities
sure.
and the system,
That's awesome.
we're gonna
Maybe not
try
that
to
one.
Extend that a little bit.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it's, what the fuck?
Oh,
There's dogs on the next one.
Cthulhu-esque.
It does look Cthulhu, yeah.
Tiny
There's fucking dogs on this one.
Is that-
Fucking hell.
Damn. We need like dramatic music on this.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were a
Okay.
lot
is
there.
it.
I weren't expecting that many.
I'm excited. I hope people watching are excited. Yes, and I agree. This was a much better way to show people these things than PowerPoint.
Wow, so many.
So good call. But we're not done. Are you good with Highlander?
Some of
you have
them
anything
do
else you
look
wanna say
very
about Highlander
Elder
before we move
Scrolls.
on?
I don't think that's a bad thing though.
Something.
Some of them are really basic if you want like a basic looking one.
Okay, then in
What's
that
more
case,
realistic,
we will
you
move
know?
on to our friend the Gladiator, and we also have the full hero trailer, which we'll start with.
So it's going to show it's going to show all this, isn't it? With the Gladiator too. Cool. So we'll see all the different weapons with the Gladiator. That's kind of cool. As I said, I have played these characters before. I did get the NDA thing to have a little look at them. I haven't really played them much because I've been busy as fuck.
Can be intoxicating.
But I had a little
Give
go
you
with
the
them.
edge you need to defeat an
I
opponent.
feel the Highlander is going to be hard to play,
It can also
in my
seal
opinion.
your fate.
The Gladiator seems just like when you jump in, even if you just like kind of mash it with him,
The
you'll still
arena
be
is not a
doing
battlefield.
kind of, you know,
The
tricky
thrill
stuff.
of the fight has
The Highlander, you
waned.
actually have to know what you're doing.
But how will they fare in all-out war?
I think they both seem quite strong.
Gladiators have risen the ranks of fighters and have run out of challengers. With their trident and shield, they charge into the fray. Their armor minimal, and their bravado staggering. It is now time for gladiators to fight. For something greater than themselves.
Buckler. Bucklers are cool. I can't say too much, Flo. I can give you like little hints and like
So,
my opinion on things,
let's,
but I
let's
can't
check out
tell you
the
exactly what they have.
Gladiator again in
I'm under
the,
NDA with it.
Build. That's what people are gonna want to see. Tell me about the Gladiator, Christian or Andrew.
Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay.
So
So it's just going to show basics. It's
again,
weird how it's showing
why
basic
Gladiator?
armor, but it's showing all the
another question would be
advanced
why
weapons.
2 Romans?
Right. We've seen that
Why
a bit.
2 warriors? First, the Roman was a pretty popular choice in the community. That's first. But then why 2 warriors? It's because they have 2 different type of amazing warriors. One, a centurion, will be more on the warriors in the battlefield.
Right.
But there's another warrior type that is warriors in the arena.
Right.
Yeah. That will be the Gladiator. If you watch the movie Gladiator,
Fucking legs
the
are muscular
beginning
as
part
fuck.
of the Maximus, as a general, is the centurion.
Right.
That's cool.
And the later part of the Maximus in the movie is the Gladiator. So we really didn't want to miss two.
Well, maybe that is
opportunities
more advanced
to
stuff. That
bring in-
doesn't look
bring
like
them
you'd start with
into
that.
our game, so we
Does
wanted
it?
to.
I don't know.
We wanted to show that in our game. So
Yeah, that
That's
makes
why
sense.
we
that
brought it,
They're,
yeah.
they're, yes, they're both
got like a
Roman, but
scarab
they
look.
have very different intents with what they're doing.
True.
Centurion wants to win wars. The Gladiator wants to win fights and win the love of the crowd, right?
True.
A bit of a showman.
So many.
exactly.
Yeah.
So rather than a soldier, he's more of a fighter, and he's like an undefeated champion in his arena, and then he wants to extend his arena to the battlefield to prove himself that he's the best. Yes.
Ooh, look at these different face masks here.
So again, they look colorless for now, but the players will be able to put
Mix and
paint pattern. Paint patterns, so it's gonna become way more colorful. They will be able to change the materials, all the metals on these guys.
And as for the Knight faction, he wears the minimal armors.
Right.
That reflects that he's confident. He's confident that he's not gonna get hit.
Right.
It's so iconic also when we're thinking about bringing the Romans, was natural to
Darwinism.
bring the Centurion and the Gladiator. It's like the movie, you know? Yeah, you had a good analogy about that.
Yep.
And the next character variation goes to Ice Guy. I was watching his streaming, and
Oh
then
my
he was
God.
so into the skulls, and he always talks about the edginess.
God.
So
He loves to be edgy.
yeah, and we brought the skull everywhere, and then we made sure it looks edgy. So I hope that he loves
Shout
this
out
design.
to Ice Guys. I don't know. Do you think this will be enough to move him from his warden to the Gladiator?
I hope so.
It could be. That is badass. Wow.
One sec, bro, about getting a drink.
More exotic one. Is that right?
What's the next one?
So even from his armor shows that we see a lot of details, and then on the fabric, and there's a trim, the sophisticated trims. It kind of shows that he's more of an entertainer.
Right. Yeah, it's not like tattered there.
Exactly. So
Yeah, we wanted to have this guy to be like a showman, you know.
Right.
He's the entertainer.
Right.
But
Here
now-
we're seeing the female model.
Now the female model.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were a few pervs on our Reddit that were hoping when they saw the female model that it would be the exact same armor.
Oh yeah, there's
Not.
female gladiators, isn't there?
No, no.
We're an M for mature game, but we don't need that. We don't need nudity, straight up nudity in our game.
At first glance, they need to look like warriors first.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, these the females.
so that's it's always cool just to bring. And I think in memory we didn't see too many gladiator females.
Look smaller. Yeah, they're females.
In TV shows. But what would be a gladiator without ornaments?
Yeah.
So because they had some pretty cool one.
It's cool seeing it like this
Hidden around the corner here.
for some reason. I just saw a centurion-looking thing then. What the hell?
Oh,
So-
damn.
With all the feathers like this, you can imagine how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
So we have the
Weird.
the team color applied on it,
Okay.
if you want.
That looks more Roman. That
That's the
does that look
typical
Roman?
one.
I'm guessing it does. I guess they
Because
did the
it's very-
research.
In front, in your face. This is more figurative.
Oh, wow.
Well, nice.
More feminine. Yeah, it's well Roman.
A bit more.
And similarly, like you were saying, the material change will change.
Maybe that's military Roman. I don't know.
correct.
Exactly. So on this case, players will be able to change sometimes the metal, sometimes the team color, or sometimes both.
Right, because you can see just by looking at it, there's different tints at different parts of it, so that's probably the part that changes.
Yeah. Sometimes we
Cool.
keep one
Love the
team
white one.
just to have like more rhythm, and like I think here the iron or the silver part will be changeable with the players. This one we kept it white because it was super nice, was very vibrant.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And when you apply that on the gladiators, I couldn't do this in this scene because they get into the idle position, so there's no way to fix that in their heads.
Show weapons now, maybe.
But it looks really, really great.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh,
So
yes.
now the trident.
The
And the buckler.
trident. Love it. Wow.
Actually, someone was asking how come we're not using the net instead of the buckler. Like technically, if we throw the net and then he has to go and catch it back, it looks kind of ridiculous.
That would introduce a whole lot of new mechanics to the game. I think.
Otherwise, unless he shoot it from the wrist. But
We'll wait
God.
for our Spider-Man expansion for that one.
Yeah, they're not amazing yet. I'm pretty sure they'll get some nicer ones. Ugh, I
So
don't
we
like
have
that.
different categories.
Oh, I don't want to be
Sometimes.
stabbed by that.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, I mean it's practical-ish maybe, but it's really ugly.
Those are simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a candlestick thing.
So like I was saying, you know, when we're working on those materials, we try to put the dirt, for example, in the right spot where it would happen.
I think they
Would
started with that, the really
happen
rare
in
stuff
real,
with the
real
with the Highlander, and on this
spent a
one
lot
they,
of
they
time
started with
on this
one. Like where it
the
would
normal
get
stuff. It
weathered
looks
and-
like,
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Worn down a bit.
I'm pretty sure
Because
they've
this
done
is what
that
it brings
because
to
they went from
the
right to left, and
thing
this
that
time they're going left to right. If you've noticed,
Gets as real
I think
as
maybe
it
someone
can,
told him in
and
his
it
ear that he did it the wrong way around.
gives also a storytelling about those weapons.
See, already they start to look a
for
bit
sure.
better.
I love that.
It's not my style, no. Yeah, see. Yeah, look.
Oh man, look at this. Looks
Detailed.
Like, Medusa,
Medusa,
maybe?
it is, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh.
Bring some mythology to those weapons.
That's cool.
This is just metal as hell.
Yeah. The skull one. I guess it could go with the skull armor. In black or
To
something.
complement the skull mask.
yes.
Yeah,
I might as well just let him talk.
this one a bit more colorful.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we're trying some
Lavender.
new colors in there also.
Yeah.
Do we have team color on the weapon?
We're exploring that. Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow, that shield's
Yeah,
cool.
getting really creative with the buckler.
That shield reminds me, yeah, it reminds me of
So the players will be able
Dark
to play
Souls.
some paint patterns in there if they want, but
A Dark Souls.
it's gonna hide a little
think
bit
we're a
of
magic
details,
one.
but it's choice for the player, you know.
Yeah.
This
See,
one
look
is
how
pretty
fancy they're
cool
getting now.
with, all the details.
These are way rarer.
You see how the materials react to the reflection, to
Yeah.
the light.
Okay, this
So-
is the
Whoa.
metal one right here. Snakes, oh man.
That's crazy. That looks so
Pretty good
different.
when you see them in action, when the player is moving all around in some lighting conditions.
Dude, they've
you know,
gone
the
crazy with
materials
this
really
shit.
Get alive. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you have those little glints.
That looks wooden. I don't like that.
Yeah, just the level of detail in this game is just so impressive. I think that even sort of our biggest complainers and critics that we have out there in the community always say like how gorgeous the game you all have made looks. So
Weird
kudos to you
looking.
guys
That's cool. It's giving headaches to the DTs also.
to make it look so good.
And every day we try, we learn from the things
Whoa.
we've done during the production, and every day we try to do
Some of these
little
look so
things
like-
better than the day before, and you sum up all that, and it gets better. We're trying to just improve the things, the way we do things.
Nothing crazy with the
so
players. The bucklers,
the game
man.
will still look good with the when it's gonna be aging, So that's a lot of weapons.
So they've talked on the fight side of things.
Holy
so
shit,
For some of the
Kala.
original characters, the question is like, will you go back and rework a little bit of the fight mechanics for the characters, add new moves and stuff, which it sounds like you
Fucking
want to
hell.
do. And so on the art side for you, is there any plan to revisit the original
I don't know
cast
what-
of characters and maybe add some things?
I thought that was the
know
end
we're
one, but I
constantly
see
adding
more.
new gear every season anyway, but do you have any
That's
sort
so
of
weird
revision
looking, I can't
plans
put
or
my-
anything like that?
Yes, so we're there's something we're gonna be
Like even the shape of it
working is
changes.
the texture.
Like the hitbox.
calibration,
I wonder how they do hitbox on this game.
People might not see it, but for there's a way to improve the feeling of what you see.
Because some are longer.
It's
You can see, look, it's
big
longer,
work
that one. Look,
because
look at it.
when we
It's
say
longer.
we
So how
work
does it do its
with
hitbox?
The environment, characters.
Does it have a better
Make
hitbox?
things look more real. So there's it's a process that we started today.
Very cool.
A few weeks ago, I would say, and at the end, it should reveal a bit more details,
Okay.
especially on the environment and on the characters. So it's gonna take
That's the end one.
a few,
Gone back to
few
basic look.
weeks, if not a few
yes.
months, but it's always in the same idea of just trying to improve.
I don't think
what
they're gonna
we've
show
done. It's
gameplay.
not
They might,
just
but
leave
I
it,
think they're
come
gonna save
back
that.
And, let's do new stuff now. So we're investing time.
Or is it
on-
further
on
up, or you might
just
be right.
improving what we've produced already.
Wait.
Awesome.
Yeah, you might be right with that.
Excellent. And to that point, so we are
crazy
showing
once again.
new heroes, new gear.
I think the
but
Highlander
there is new
swords
gear
look
for the
cool, though.
existing heroes for this season as well.
I
right?
will always producing new gear. Yeah.
So we're not showing that to you today, but that's also part of season 3. So
New
look
gear
forward to
for all
that
the
your
characters
favorite
again.
Character.
God.
Any last words you want to say about the Gladiator before we move on to maps?
I think that's good.
Cool.
With everything.
Oh, there's maps as well.
Then I
Right.
think we will do that. We'll move to maps. So we have a second computer set up here so we can show you the maps.
Cool.
So we have 2 new maps coming in Season 3. One is called The Sentinel. And I think we'll start by showing you the little trailer that we put together for The Sentinel, and then we'll dive in and check it out in the build.